Okay students, let us start our today's session. We are going to see the topic on types of sets. There is a very special set of great interest, the empty collection. Why should one care about the empty collection? Consider the set of solutions to the equation x square plus 1 equal to 0. So it is given x square plus 1 equal to 0 and x square equal to minus 1. X equal to root of minus 1, which is not a real number and it is not possible at all. And you could see that it has no elements at all in the set of real numbers. Also, consider all rectangles with one angle greater than 90 degrees. There is no such rectangle and hence this describes an empty set. You already know that a rectangle has four sides 90 degrees. This all are 90 degrees. If one is more than 90 degree, then the another one will also become more than 90 degree, which is not possible of a rectangle at all. Rectangle should always have four angles as 90 degree. So, the empty set is very important, interesting and deserves a special symbol too. So, empty set or null set. A set consisting of no element is called the empty set or null set or void set. It is denoted by the symbol pi, or in between the brackets no number should be there or no symbol should be there. For example, let a equal to x, where x is an odd integer divisible by 2. Let x be 7 and we are dividing it by 2. But you get 3.5. But decimal numbers are not considered as real numbers. You should have only real numbers in the sets. Therefore, A is a null set or pi set. So, the second one, the set of all integers between 1 and 2. You know that in between 1 and 2 you have rational numbers 1 by 2, 1 by 3 and etc. But you don't have any integer in between 1 and 2. So you already know that integers start from negative infinity, it consists of 0 until it ends in positive infinity. So our next subtopic is singleton set. A set which has only one element is called a singleton set. So you can see, for example, a equal to x, where x is greater than 3 and smaller than 5. You could see that only 4 is in between 3 and 5. So x equal to 4. It has only one element in the set. And then in the second one, the set of all even prime numbers. Only 2, you already know that only 2 is the even prime number. Other than that, no prime number is even. Our next subtopic is finite set. A set with finite number of elements is called a set. That is, the number of elements will be fixed in this set. So, for example, the set of family members, the set of indoor or outdoor games you play, the set of curricular subjects you learn in school, and a equal to x, where x is a factor of 36. Then our next subtopic is infinite set. A set which is not finite is called an infinite set. For example, 5, 10, 15 till infinity we are putting dots. So it will be considered as it is going till infinity. So this is a infinite set. Then second example, the set of all points on a line. A line can have infinite number of points. We cannot count it at all. It is an infinite set. So to discuss further about types of sets, we need to know about cardinality of sets. So a cardinal number of a set is, when a set is finite, it is very useful to know how many elements it has. The number of elements in a set is called a cardinal number of the set. That is, the cardinal number of a set A is denoted by n of A. N denotes the number of elements in A. For example, if A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, we have to find the n of A. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, since set A contains 8 elements, n of A equal to 8. So our next subtopic is equivalent sets. Two finite sets A and B are said to be equivalent if they contain the same number of elements. It is written as A is a subset of B. If A and B are A is equivalent to B, then n of A equal to n of B. For example, consider A equal to ball, bat. These two are the elements, and B equal to history, geography, and these two are the elements. Here A is equivalent to B because n of A equal to n of B equal to 2. It is not compulsory to have the same set of elements, but it should, if it is having the same number of elements, then it will be considered as a equivalent set. So example number 1.4, Rp equal to x where x is greater than or equal to -3 and smaller than or equal to 0, and x belongs to integers, and Q equal to the set of all prime factors of 210 equivalent sets. So we have to check whether these two sets are equivalent sets. So in our solution, P equal to -3, -2, -1 and 0. It is given that x is greater than or equal to 3 and smaller than or equal to 0. So -3 and 0 will be also the elements of P. So the prime factors of 210 are 2, 3, 5 and 7, and so Q equal to 2, 3, 5, 7. Only we should take the prime factors and not a composite factor. Only it has 4 prime factors, that is 2, 3, 5 and 7. So n of P equal to 4 and n of Q equal to 4. Therefore, P and Q are equivalent sets. I already told you the number of elements should be the same and not the elements in the set. So now let us move to the equal set. Two sets are said to be equal if they contain exactly the same elements, otherwise they are said to be unequal. That is, in last topic we saw that the n of A equal to n of B means it is equivalent sets. But in this type, we will see that the elements of A and B should be always equal. That is, we are considering example 1, 2, 3 and 4 and B equal to 4, 2, 3, 1. And you can see that it is rearranged, but the number, that is 1 is common in B also, 2 is common in B also, 3 is common in B also, and 4 is common in 3 also. So the order is not important here, but the same elements should be there. That's enough. So you can see example number 1.5, Ra equal to x where x belongs to natural numbers and x is greater than or equal to 4 and smaller than or equal to 8, and B equal to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are equal sets. We are going to find is the both sets are equal or not. So in solution, A equal to, you can see that it is given x is greater than or equal to 4 and smaller than or equal to 8. That is 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So B also it is given 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So A and B are equal sets. So our next subtopic is universal set. A universal set is a set which contains all the elements of the set under consideration and is usually denoted by the symbol U. For example, if we discuss about the elements in natural numbers, then the universal set U is the set of all natural numbers. That is, U equal to x where x belongs to natural numbers. Second example, if A equal to Earth, Mars and Jupiter, then the universal set of U is the planet of solar system. That is, if in the first example you can take 1, 2, 3 till infinity, it will be considered as natural number set. But this set is nothing but this whole thing we are writing in general, that is x is a natural number, that's it. Then it is given three elements in second example, that is Earth, Mars, Jupiter. So in general we are writing it as U, that is x is a planet of solar system. It will be considered as Earth, Mars and Jupiter. So our next subtopic is subset. Let A and B be two sets if every element of A is also an element of B, then A is a subset. A is called the subset of B. We write A is the subset. This is subset symbol of B. That is, A subset of B is read as A is a subset of B. Thus, A subset of B, if A small a belongs to capital A, implies small a belongs also in capital B. This is the symbol of belonging. So, if A is not a subset of B, we write A is a, this is symbol of not a subset of B. Clearly, if A is a subset of B, then n of A is smaller than or equal to n of B. Since every element of A is also an element of B, the set B must have at least as many elements as A. Thus, n of A is smaller than or equal to n of B. The other way is also true. Suppose n of A is bigger than n of B, then A has more elements than B, and hence there is at least one element in A that cannot be in B. So, A is not a subset of B. You could see that if this is a set of A and this is a set of B, then A is smaller than B, but A has a common element with B and B is greater than A. So this means that A is a subset of B. A contains in B. Then in second one also you could see, if this is A and this is B, you could see that A has another element which is not in B, but it is smaller in size than B, and it has only one common factor, that is 2, in both A and B. So this can also be that if A should have the all elements in B, or B should have all elements contained in A, but both of them have different elements in A and B. So that is, only one is common, but it has no common also. So this will be considered not a subset.